What's up, YouTube? This is my vintage silent heat detector. I forgot to mention that the disc was kind of bent when I got it. I bent it even more because I was trying to figure out. Sometimes you can remove these discs, but I bent it even more last night, and some of the gold fell off. Most of the gold fell off of this part, but it's still gold right here. It still works. But I was trying to test the heat potion by just using a heated pad, but it doesn't work like that. You need a real flame. But I think this is a fixed temperature, non-reusable, or maybe it is reusable, who knows. These are called reusable heat detectors, and you can rewind them anytime you like. That's the test button, apparently. That's what it's sticking out. I don't know how to pronounce the company's name. I don't remember how to pronounce it, actually. But it's a 30A. VAM30AFT. I think it's a VAM30AFT. I think that's the real model number, the full model number. But it's a cool paint. I always wanted one of these, to be honest. Ever since when I first saw one for SEO safety. Shout to SEO safety. SEO safety. If you don't know what SEO stands for, it stands for SEO. Safety something room. Yeah, back in the day, he actually had a room back in the day, but now it's a garage. The new SEO. The old SEO was actually a storage unit. Not a storage unit, I mean a storage closet or something. I can remain this thing because it's a little loud, but I can muffle it by holding both of my hands on it, but I'm not going to do that because that's boring. It's pretty nice, actually. It's a pretty nice shape other than that bent heat detector that looks like trash. The bent heat portion that looks like trash, which I wish I could replace it, but I don't know if this is fixed, like it's going to permanently be activated unless like heat portion falls off or do something. Let me know. It's made in 1971, I believe, according to Google. But wait, these were found in the 1800s, around in the 1800s. These heat detector bells. Yeah, by Edison. Literally by Thomas Edison. The Thomas Edison. Yeah. Another fun fact about that. And some other dude also founded it. But fun fact about the smoke detector. I want this from BMAs. Shout out to BMAs also. Give a lot of shout outs today. Also, I might as well give a shout out to Plum Sparkers because she's awesome. But anyways, so BMAs said the smoke detector was invented by accident. He tried to make something that was kind of related to fire safety, but he ended up smoking a cigarette other than setting off something. It's off his invention, and it was apparently the smoke detector came. And now we had these stupid kiddo smoke detectors. Yeah, they are pretty stupid, actually. They're all over the place these days. I wish we could see some of these more, but again, these are just a pain to some people who might not know how to reset these things. At first, I didn't know how to silence this thing when my grandma, I accidentally set this off in my grandma's car at a gas station. You know, crazy things happen at gas stations. That was the craziest thing that probably happened. But don't worry, nobody heard it unless you opened up the door, which my grandma had to open up the door to get the gas, obviously. And the little ringing noise came up, like ring, 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 going off. But I found out you just need to pull this tab or put an eraser, a pencil and eraser in there. But it's still a nice bell, really. It's a nice thing. I always wanted one of these. I'm not counting this as my first fire alarm. My second fire alarm. My third fire alarm. I'm not counting this as my third fire alarm. Or a device like a real device, like I call it like device, like my first say for smoke detector, like that's actually the smoke heat detector that's for like you can install in like buildings. I would say that this is considered as residential, like it does not replace a smoke detector, fun fact. I might recommend installing one of those with these. And these, I think you still can use these. They don't expire ever. I don't see any expiration dates. I don't see why not, you cannot reuse them. And they say says first activates at 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, temperature rate for 135 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're wondering, I forgot to mention local areas only. I think this is not as hard as what I think it is, but only as impatient. Only there was some air that was leaking in that was cool air. Maybe this is 100 degrees, not 135 degrees. I mean, I could put above some boiling water in there if I do that, but this is pretty cool. No electricity, no batteries, nothing. You don't need anything but manpower. Yeah, and it's like, think of it as a wind-up toy, but other than this thing doesn't spin around like a wind-up toy, but I've seen some with I've seen some like that had, instead of this in the middle, they had like a little wind-up thing, like a wind-up toy. It's really tiny, and it actually did spin a little. And I think there was some that did actually spin around. I think I see a safety has one that has one in the middle and one that actually spins around a little. But they're pretty cool. Especially when they're underwater, like Vince's Final Guy. Shout out to him, by the way. Vince's Final Guy, he doesn't make videos that often, but when he used to make videos often, frequently, but one of his last videos was, one of his last videos before he took a break was him putting 2 heat detectors like these, other than they were silver, in a bathtub filled with water, and then he set them off in there. Like, he just pressed the test button. And I thought it was funny. But don't do that to your real heat detectors and real firearms in general. You might ruin them. And I didn't think it was funny either, too, because that's just ruining them. Unless they were waterproof. But I will not put this on water, because this is so cool. If I have multiple, like thousands of them, yeah, I'll put 1 or 2 in the water. If I have like 100 of them, yeah, I'll put 1 or 2 in the water. But let's say I have at least 100 of them. If I have like 50 or more of these, I'll put 2 underwater. That would be my deal. But I doubt I would do that, because these things are expensive and very rare. And very cool. And kind of valuable, actually. Yeah. This is pretty cool. I recommend flying on the best you can. There was a bunch of exit signs at the Habitat Humanity stove, and some emergency lights, and a water radio. There was seriously a water radio there. Yeah, it's a WL120. It was not part of the stove, it was actually for sale. But I didn't get it. I was going to get it, but I didn't get it. Also, I was going to get an emergency light, but I couldn't. It was a plug-and-play emergency light. Like, you don't see those every day. But it's kind of broken. It didn't have price, but somebody put a price on there. $15, which that's kind of an okay deal. But I didn't get it. The water radio was only $7. Which that's interesting. It was a WLN20, just WLN20. Which I already have a bunch of those already. But this is better than, and the egg sign I was going to also get an egg sign of $15 too. But it's in bad shape. It was trashed. Ugh. It was trashed. Like, it was terrible looking. It's pretty cool. It's one of those, like the signs that had clear. It's not like the white housing is clear. I cannot describe when I'm talking. I don't remember what they're called. Edgelit. They're called edgelit exit signs. It's one of those edgelit exit signs. They're pretty cool, in my opinion. Yeah, edgelit exit signs are pretty cool. But this heat detector is cooler than an edgelit trashy exit sign. You know, this is pretty much just trashy looking. It still works. It still means after who knows how many years this particular heat detector is, I really like it. This little thing. Also, I do like these new ties. If you want to know what the names are, this one is Spooky. Yeah. 1995. I believe this one's 1995. Yeah. And a Snowball. This one I would say it's a go, this one's a guide, but yeah, but this one is 1996, coincidentally. Yeah, because 1995, 1996, that's kind of coincidental. And McGonagall actually has 2 of these snowmans. Let's go get more new ties, but more than just these two, but it'll be something made for my birthday. But the Habitat store is pretty cool. I didn't even know the Habitat store you can even find weather radios there. Weather radios are extremely rare at Habitat. So last time I was at the Habitat store, it was boring to me. But this time I was there, it was kind of interesting. Let's say that maybe you don't. It's been years since I've been there, so you don't just bail on your first time and never come back. But the second time you go back there, it's because there was my grandma the first time I was there. But the second time, give up a second chance in life. Even a third chance in life if you really don't like the second chance. Give it a third chance. I give it 3 chances. Give places 3 chances in life or anything in life. 3 chances. If they fail those 3 chances in life, then they'll still go to them. So even try new foods, like try 3 bites of the food. Like Hannah does. Shout out to Hannah, by the way. And Hannah is a girl that I thought was food, and yeah, you watched my playlist, by the way, that I made of her. Really, I made a good playlist of her. She's pretty cool. She's a pretty cool young girl that's so cute. She's kind of cute also. So how I found her was actually on Instagram. My mom technically found her first, and then I thought she had a YouTube channel. I think she had a YouTube channel, and yep, sure enough, she did. She changed her name to something else, but it's actually changed her name to her first name and maybe her middle name. Her first and middle name, I believe. I'm pretty sure it is. But it's pretty cool. It should be Hannah Lee. It makes more sense. So Hannah Leah, because that doesn't make sense. Hannah Lee makes sense because it sounds beautiful. I mean, it's pronounced like that. Leah. But anyways, that's it.